This is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio in the gallery / studio. This is a 12-inch by 24-inch canvas with only one paint chip today. Wow. These are a couple of my little acetate tools. These are some hair coloring tools that are on my Amazon link on my link tree underneath Show More. These are little pieces of acetate. They're all swipe tools, including this OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, the best paint spreading tool I know. Alright, so I want to use an inspiration painting, and I wish I had written down the number, but I did post it today. I'm going to use some Amsterdam white that I've had mixed up and not been using for a while for whatever reason as a base layer to spread some of my Frosted Berry, which is a Colour Arte color. It's a Prizm pour. You will be able to find a 20% off coupon code underneath the video for that. And I'm liking how liquidous this is. I would normally try and use Chantilly lace, which is another Prizm pour, and it sparkles like diamonds, but I just want the canvas wet. And I don't really need another metallic because the Frosted Berry is a metallic. I may have some trouble going over the top. And I know I want to put some of this color that I mixed, which is Chantilly lace, mixed with a little bit of Primary Elements ginger flower that was a residual in the bottom of the cup from some cell activator that I had made, and a little Boysenberry. I want that to go all the way over there, and maybe down there, and over here. And I'm going to just try and use the other side of my spatula. Usually I put it all over, but it leaves lines. So this time I'm going to put it in a puddle and see what kind of effect I get in the sky. Because I like a pink sky with a whitish background to it. And I wouldn't mind having a little bit of paint to go over the top. I will be swiping the purple down into the area that's going to be the land portion. This is definitely based on another painting that has a pink sky and a purple horizon. And I'm going to turn that now. Okay, so that was almost a mistake. I know that the Amsterdam white is likely to dull down the shimmering effect of the Primary Elements Prizm pours. Excuse me, the Colour Arte Prizm pours. And I want to put a little bit more here and here. I kind of chose to do this because it didn't look like it was that hard the first time, and it was a lot of fun to swipe. The first time I did it, I used Meeden black as a cell activator. It wasn't anything more than the fact that it was probably, I'm assuming it's an enamel paint, and using enamel mixed with Floetrol will often sell. That purple is too much right there. I have to remember that I can also pick up paint from my purple if I want. To make the edge of my horizon have some purple clouds. As long as the paint is nice and wet, we're safe. After it starts to glop up, not so much. Alright, so I'm going to turn that around and try and utilize whatever I can scavenge as I smooth the sky, because we seem to have good timing today. Although I do need a little bit on that edge. I have enough of that paint so that I'm not going to really worry about it too much. I can always add that afterwards, I believe. Not that it'll be easy to mix the purple and the pink. One more stealth move. And try and dab along the edge of that canvas where the canvas will show. It's not looking too bad. Pretty sure I can rescue most of it later. Maybe one more little go around. Because it's not too fancy. I mean, it's not a complicated color palette or anything right at the moment. It's just frosted berry. And the violet rose would be a really close substitute if you don't want to mix a purple color for what I used down at the middle. Now when I did this the first time, I put my enamel paints down in that area before. Two lines of black and one of white. And I'm pretty sure the white was also meant to be some kind of cell activator. If it wasn't, it's okay too. I have a little ridge of paint there that I don't want, so I'm going to do one more swipe. I say that, but you can't trust me, because things are beginning to get a little gloppy. I'm going to pick that right up. So I have a little more control. And then I'm going to very lightly smooth out that last stroke. Because if you've got Floetrol in your mix, you're dulling your paint colors. So I stopped putting it in. You could put it in. At least 10% will help level the paint out. So there's my pink sky. And a little extra on my clean butcher paper. Thank you, Leslie. And I'm going to use more of that Amsterdam white. I might even use it up. Because the Prizm pours, the way I mix the Prizm pours, they're a little heavier than people's normal yellow Floetrol mixture. That was the Amsterdam white. This is a little bit of African violet, which is one of my favorite purples. It's somewhat iridescent. It's just my most charming favorite, that's all. And I need other colors in here, or other paint. And where is my set of tweezers? Hopefully that's a thing. The Amsterdam white is basically known to sell. So the fact that it's not in my sky is actually a good thing. But if it does, I've seen that affecting clouds and I won't worry about it. So I'm going to use some of this Fire and Ice, which is very color shifting, iridescent, grayish color. And my last painting I swiped down from the top mostly. But I think I'm going to go up and sideways and all over the place this time. And I need a little bit more in here. And usually I pick up enough color on my card. I'm going to use a little bit of the deep amethyst too, before I get into my greens. Part of me just wants to swipe across now. I didn't use any black, so I'm going to. This is my Meeden black. I'm a little nervous about using it. I could put a little bit of the pink in the bottom. Just because reflections happen, and being that that's my rationale, it gets me one more color to sort of fill out my swiping zone. This will be interesting because I haven't really done this with Prizm pours, and I'm doing it a little differently than I did the first time. This is a Midnight Shadow, which is comparable somewhat to Prussian Blue. And then I'm going to use the Rich Auburn, which is for me comparable to a gorgeous copper color. And I've got, whoa, what are you? You look like a rather large lump. Goodbye, lump. No lumps. It's been a little while since I used this. I've got color I mixed up. We have Tuscan Sun and Wintergreen, which is very green and I'm hoping will open. And I'm going to use one of my little silicone paddles. These are on my Amazon link too. I like these for cleaning out round bottom things on the one side, and the flat side is great too. And the tips come off, the paddle part comes off, which makes it nice. There, I used a little more of that than I was expecting to, but that's okay. Let's put a cap back on that. I have been mixing colors today. I made a color I love. It starts out with wintergreen and has, that's about 90%, 7% Royal Sapphire and 3% Midnight Shadow. It makes a delicious, I don't know what color to call this. I do know that I started the last one of these with a whole bunch of gold, and I mixed gold, and then I put it someplace I couldn't find it. So I'm going to just get busy with the gold. It's looking like there's plenty of paint there. But I'm going to give myself a little bit more, and that's going to be the straight wintergreen unmixed with anything, because it's a great color too. That's kind of like Kelly green for me. Not my favorite color, but definitely does awesome things with other greens and purples and blues. And then I'm going to have to decide if I'm done or if it's time to get out. You know what? I'm going to put some of this African Jade in here because I like the contrast. And I said I was going to put some pink in, and I did. I want some darker pink. Is that weird? Maybe this purple would do. I think so. Can I be careful? Okay, it's time to get out the, oh, it's time to put the spatula away. Whoo. Alright, so let's get out the black Amsterdam mixed in Aussie Floetrol, which is supposed to be 3/4 Aussie Floetrol, and I tend to mix it differently. I'm going to use the black first, just to see what we're dealing with. Use my residuals. And what's next? I have PBO Gold, Iridescent Gold, which was my like ultimate choice eventually. After trying a couple combinations, one that almost worked and then I didn't have the right stuff and I tried to mix it again. So I have an ungodly amount of Aussie Floetrol with the wrong gold in it, which I'm going to have to figure out something to do with at some point in time. I think that I want a wider card. And maybe some more paint. That's some white, Amsterdam white. This is dioxazine purple, Hobby Lobby brand. They're both in Australian Floetrol. I'm not so sure my colors are working yet. I do tend to think I can stuff my fingers in gaps. I'm not getting the cells I expected. But I'm also not done yet. Might be time to scrape off my swipe card. I kind of want to use a much larger one, but I've got some paint on my paddle here. I think I'm just going to add a cool horizon line by bouncing up and down. Oh, we got some accidental trees in there. I'll have to scrape that off. Wow, that time went by really fast. I've got 3 minutes to finish up, and I might be able to do it actually. Scrape this off. I'm going to look briefly for a wider card. That's too wide. This looks pretty good. Hey, you know what? That'll work really well. Let's go for the black. The black worked out of the gate better than anything. Some of the gold. I didn't really get an awful lot of black there. Let's give some of the white also a chance. Scrape off that bottom, and I'm going to be using residuals for a while. I'm going to use this weird tool because I can. The name of my first book on my Amazon link. I'm just going to use it to pounce in some of those spots. And possibly fill in on the edge too. Looks like that'll work well. This is actually working out. It's a little bit mysterious what's happening. Oh, that edge is covered. That's cool. All right, so thinking break up this one line somewhat and call it good, except for the fact that I want some trees. And I think in order to do that, I'm going to need the sharp point. Of a skewer. Maybe make some more interesting things happening at the horizon line with some of that purple. Yeah, definitely like messing with the horizon. Oh, I got a little structure over there. All right, so please look for that 20% off coupon code for Colour Arte. Know I love you guys. You inspire the heck out of me. I'll be touching up my bottom. I'll be probably poking my finger in a few of these holes. Although the canvases come primed, so if you don't want to, you don't have to. And I'll look for bubbles. I can pop them with my fingers too. I can look for bubbles and pop them with the sharp end of a skewer. If you guys want to help me out, watch longer. Leave me a comment. Thank you for the comments that keep my morale boosted, by the way. Thank you so much. Thank you for the donations to help keep me painting. You can find a place to donate through PayPal on the bottom right hand corner of my YouTube channel banner. You can also find over 2,500 videos. And if you can't find them, ask me, because I have them organized by topic and genre. So this is a little different. I'm not sure what I'll do to it after you're gone, but I am going to be running my finger along the top edge where I can see that I've got a few drips. I'll say goodbye for now and wish that I had enough time to shimmer